Hello, and welcome to a bonus episode of the UK Surf Show, because we've got too much to fucking talk about. I'm your host, Pete.
And I'm your other host, Mitch. We do have a lot to talk about. We literally just finished recording the intro-outro for Chris from Wavelength, so we hope you enjoyed that episode, and we hope you went and checked them out.
Yeah.
We also hope you went all the way down to the Wavelength offices on Town Headland and said hello and checked out their epic coffee machine. I hope you found out who it was that was screaming at somebody in the lineup about his hand being run over, and if his hand's any better now. And I hope it gets sunnier up here as well, because it's crap.
Yeah. Mate, where should we start? I mean, we got down there and we surfed, and then we surfed, and then we surfed, and we surfed every day. Twice one day we surfed. I think we start with the Rising Tides Festival, and Danny, Matt and Kieran, like I said, those guys and the other people that were there that put that thing together, and it was just the work they put in, you know, was absolutely awesome. And they were battling against it as well. For where the talking tent was, probably not best idea for Boardmasters to put a skate ramp next to it with a competition going on and like loud ass speaker and music playing right next to next to a talking tent. But that was only like the last like 2 days, you know, Saturday and Sunday, but it was bloody distracting as well. But you know, luckily that didn't play too much havoc to us, but I know other speakers it did.
Yes. Well, maybe you should talk about how the Surf Skate Expo came about. That's probably a good place to start before we get into what went down.
The Surf Skate Expo or the Rising Tides?
Well, maybe you should talk about where the Rising Tides Festival came from before we get into what went down.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have to record that twice. The Rising Tides Festival started, actually, originally, I think, they started by Echo Surf, and they were doing, like, looking for other alternative ways of surfing, making it sustainable and stuff like that. And then they did some fish fries and, like, which there was no fish at, which I said was livid about. And then they did these things, and it's evolved into the Rising Tides. So last year was the first time they did Rising Tides, and then it was alongside Boardmasters. And now Boardmasters were like, well, that looks good, we want a piece of that. And so it's part of Boardmasters now, but it's really cool. It's a really cool bunch of people looking at alternative ways, crafts and different things, and way to, like, everybody from like regular shapers, so it's not all like eco warriors and stuff like that. It's like, you know, regular people, like we said, we'll give people a voice to speak about anything they're passionate about in surfing on this podcast. We're not the experts and we can't do everything and follow everything, you know.
Yeah.
And that place is the perfect place. If you've got an opinion or you've got something you want to say, it's the perfect place to do it. Like with people watching you, it's just, you know, an amazing thing.
Totally. And I think, I mean, maybe we can come on to it later, but I do wonder if we had some feedback that the live episode we done at the end was pretty good. And it got me thinking about it a lot, just based on...
It was more than pretty good, mate. We got told it was fucking fantastic, and a few people said it was the best thing of the whole thing. So I'm just saying it because we got told it.
But I was trying to think about that because we had a lot of... Obviously, we were hosting conversations, but on the last one, we done it like it was a podcast, and I figured actually if we were to do it again, that's how we should do it, because I think perhaps what was happening was that people would be on stage talking about whatever they were talking about, but surrounded by people just straight up agreeing with everything they had to say. That's not a conversation, is it? Like you cannot. Whereas I guess I was straight up just not arguing, but disagreeing with part of our panel talk, because it's something I'm also passionate about. Not to say that I'm right, not to say that they're right. It doesn't matter who's right and wrong, but the idea is that it's supposed to be a discussion. So I kind of hope that's... I think you need balance, right? Yeah, everything needs balance, which is obviously why I'm trying to set up my own charity called Surfers Against Sewage. But I'm going to put rubbish back. But I think that's why it worked for us, and we could have probably overthought that and maybe done it a little bit different, but it just ran like a podcast.
We should say on that as well, on that one will be out on YouTube. I don't think we couldn't record the audio from?
No. I think it's good. I
box?
checked quickly. It's good enough on the camera, so through the speakers, so you should be able to hear that well enough. But we might get the audio, so don't worry about that. But you will see that episode soon.
No, but I mean, what I was going to say, that'll be out on YouTube anyway. That live podcast. I don't know if it'll come out on the main. If
no,
it
will. Yeah, it's good enough.
Is it?
Yeah. So let's keep this.
Right, that's good then. That's a result.
Yeah.
Then.
So, you'll get to see that.
So we could have just put that out instead of this. We could put everything out at once. We'll just put it all out.
Well, we will
just all the Lost Shore episodes, everything. We'll just chuck it all out at once.
We will. And on that last one we done, that live episode, you definitely didn't cover up someone else's sticker on stage on the Boardmasters sign with the UK
No,
Surf
that was
Show
you.
What was it?
You did the worst thing you can possibly do is sticker over someone else's sticker, and you done Williams' sticker. In all fairness, it saves putting another sticker because halfway through, the woman said, "Oh, can I take a picture of that because it's handcrafted, that Boardmasters sign."
Well, that was kind of I'm not a sticker monster. I kind of realised that is sacrilege putting a sticker over someone else's sticker. But for clarity, it was the only sticker on the Boardmasters sign, which was at the bottom of the stage we were presenting on. This was about to be the only UK Surf Show hosted event. And the only obvious place for the sticker to go is exactly where Adam had put his sticker. So I don't want to peel his sticker off. So it made sense they were the same shape, same size. It made sense to put it straight over it. In fairness to me, and in my own defense, I didn't realise, or I did because you probably told me 1,000 times, I didn't realise he was on the panel we were discussing with. But it was our goddamn panel.
Mate, that was so fun. That episode, so on that panel there was Adam from Williams Longboard, Pete from Pendern surfboards, and Ollie Cooper surfboards, and like those guys, every single one of them doing things differently, and there's like different opinions, different options, different ways to think about it, and like having those three different shapers. Also, like some of the things around there was a girl who takes Brad's, which I know Gemma listens to the show as well. She takes Brad's waste material and makes art out of it, like makes surf art, and she was like painting on a surfboard and stuff like that, which I think is raffled off, or it might have been raffled off by now or something. But there's that, and then there's people making like fins out of wool. They're really good until they get wet and then they go floppy.
Yeah, you liked that joke.
I did that joke to him, but makes fins, and we made our own wax combs and out of Persil things, and
no, it wasn't Persil, was it? It was surf detergent.
Oh, surf, surf plastic lids, making out of all plastic bits. There was, I can't even think, Wave Project were there. Phil Williams was everywhere there. Because we've come to the conclusion that everywhere you go in the world, Phil Williams is there.
So he's got clones and drones.
Or they said they've seen him. I said what happened with Phil was he literally saw the Lord moves in mysterious ways and thought, I'll take that literally, and just moves around all over the planet.
As long as it's surf, that's what he does.
As long as it's surf, he's there. Oh man, there's so many people. So they say Hugo was there from Oceania, and I said I hadn't spoken to him since episode 9, I think it was, or maybe once afterwards at the Wave, and there was just there's just people everywhere.
And I've got a specific shout out to James A. Grant. His Instagram is he was with the Echo Surf Dudes, and he was just taking
phenomenal.
He was taking photos, which I shall overlay some of now, but oh my god, these photos, ridiculous, like honestly ridiculous. He messaged me after. He sent me, it wasn't even in his words the shot, it was just one of the sort of throwaways, right? And it was just a photo of me half in the dark, half in the light, carrying my board, and as you pointed out, I look like, or your other half pointed out, I look like a schoolboy
kid at Christmas.
Yes, holding my prize. And he hadn't actually
kid at Christmas holding his board, like, look what I've got.
When he took the shot, he didn't realise I'd just been sponsored by O'Neill, and obviously, I'm holding my board just out the surf when he grabbed me. In this shot, I had so many DMs about it. It was like, oh my god, who took that? That shot's I was messaging him saying, mate, I need this. Can I have this for my cover shot? And he was like, dude, that's just a throwaway. But he was doing that for everyone that was on stage and speaking, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
But what a talent. Super, super, super nice guy as well.
Yeah.
Just full of vibes. But class, man.
He took a photo of Mitch and I as well. It's a really good one as well, actually. And put that over the top as well. Like he said, he's got more of them, but that was just like throwaway one sort of thing he sent. But man, there was so much going on there, and it's just stuff. It's just there's too much stuff in my head. I don't know what to speak about.
Rinsed.
I'll tell you what.
Rinsed.
Rinsed was there. Yeah, remind me the cameraman bit as well, because Rinsed was there, and we've chatted about them to a few different people. Going, you should check out Rinsed. You should check out Rinsed, and we're like, oh yeah, because we do get it a lot. You should check out this. You should check out this, and we're like, yeah, all right. So we often we check it out and have a look at it or whatever it is, but Rinsed. The guys from Rinsed were a great laugh, first of all, and I think we will get them on the show at some point. But the guy was saying that he started off the wash because he was washing his wetsuit and he had a skin allergy that he was allergic to like fucking everything.
So it was really bad, yeah.
And really bad, and they worked out it was his wetsuit and what he was washing his wetsuit in that was causing the problem. So he came up with this product himself, and it's like totally like eco-friendly, basically. I don't know. You can eat it. I think. Don't quote me on that, and don't try it. I think that's
legal
what he said
reasons,
to me.
you can.
For legal reasons, do not try it, and you can. But they look like sweets anyway.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
If you'll allow it.
Go on,
boss. I used Rinsed last night on both. Well, two of my hyper freaks, just to get them off. Like I always wash my suits anyway post surf, always, but that's normally because I come home and I'm able to. Obviously, we were staying in our vans for the week, so I wasn't able to wash my suits. So you get like a shampoo and a conditioner, a green and a blue sort of, I guess they're like like washing tablet sort of thing. You mix them in water, suits smell great. Like it worked really well. We got a lot of wee samples to use, so I'm really chuffed with it. I think it's great. So, like you said, they were quality dudes. Like such a barrel of laughs. There you go. Pete's holding it up there. Just a barrel of laughs. Me and the lads were literally sitting taking the piss out of you when you were getting to choose what food you didn't want from your other half down at the stands on Fish Roll. And so check out Rinsed. Huge shout as well to my good friend T McGuinness, representing the WSL commentary or post-surf interviews. Nice to catch up. And some great interviews coming out of there. It was just a really good vibe, wasn't it? Like the beach, the sun out. Well, most of the time, I think.
I'm sure you know more people in Newquay than you know in Scotland.
I think you're probably right, and I think I said this to you down there. Like I feel like I walk around Newquay, and more people say hello to me, or vice versa. More importantly, than I would at home. Like. I don't remember, I've loved
because at home it's like, get the fuck!
I joined the army super young. Like, I left and I didn't come home for like 23 years. So, there's probably only a handful of schoolmates I would know to say hello to. Do you know what I mean? Let alone just people cutting about. So, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. But I guess, that time of year as well, it is a mecca. Like, all surfers are down there. And,
Mate, there's so many people. Who was the girl that said hello to you, the surfer?
Yolanda.
Yeah, Yolanda, she was lovely as well.
Yolanda's super cool, nice. Great result. I think Yolanda finished third in the Women's Open. Yolanda's the real deal, not to say anyone else isn't, but Yolanda will be on the WCT in absolutely no time. I think she's sitting second in the world. But she was up at Lost Shore, just amazing vibes, just amazing surfing, but just full of energy and positive. And again, we've spoken about it before, like when you meet people, it's just nice that they can, operate at that level, they're surf operators, but still be super humble and down to earth. Nice. Kai and Callie, huge results. Callie made the finals of the juniors. I mean, how can we not mention Lucas? Like, oh my God.
I was going to say there's some kid called Lucas did something, didn't he? I don't know what it was.
Lucas did a thing. Just been out of the water for so long, goes back, and he wasn't actually entering this competition, which is blew me away when I saw that he did. It was like, oh, amazing. To then not only go win the juniors, but to win Boardmasters, having been out the water that long. It's not for me to say that it's because he came up to Lost Shore and then went down and won. same as Garage McDade, same as a few other people that have been over.
Mate, I said to you, did you see that thing yet? He posted a thing with all people saying his name. Geroy, like commentators trying
to
say his name. Geroy, like whatever it was. It's like, yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, no. So we had loads of surfs. I definitely had loads of surfs.
Right, so I think first day we got there, we had a surf.
Well, I was there the day before you, wasn't I? So I was surfing.
Well, when I got there, we had a surf on that day, and then the next day we had 2 surfs, Fistral and
Tolcarne.
Yeah. And then, was it the day after or the day after where we went to Tolcarne at high tide, and it was fucking the most terrifying surf. Well, actually, let's start Fistral, beginning of the week. 45 minutes of just paddling and just paddling.
I think that was the second. That was the second Fistral surf, I think. But you're right. It was like, man, honestly, low tide Fistral is a long way to get out back. I think it was a exceptionally mad day as well. Like there'd been quite a lot of wind about, and yeah, it was a slog. Like I got out back, and then kind of like you're like, am I out back? And it was one of them.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck. Surely I'm there. Like surely I'm nearly there, and you've miles to go. And then one of them as well, where such a fast wave at times. Even if you take off on a wave that closes out, you end up so far back inside. It's just horrendous, and it was one of them sessions. And I think we had 2 Fistral sessions that day, no?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I
noticed. I was going to bring this up. Wait, I'm going to bring this up because when you were with the Crookshanks talking, all of you, when you say something, you just say what you mean, no, and you say no at the end of everything. And I was like, no,
we don't know.
No, what? You do. You go. So yeah, you like that? No, yeah, no, what? It's like, what the fuck? What's going on?
It's like putting a question mark on the end, and also it's a good way to check somebody's listening. No.
Yeah.
See.
See, I got this proper Scottish response as well.
Yeah,
it's like that Alan Partridge one.
But yeah, that session was the closest I had to a good right. I think. It was mostly closeouts, and I definitely took off on one, and I managed to get like a really nice sort of bottom turn, big pump in, and then huge Superman eject off the top, and that was kind of it. So that was the closest I got. I think I alluded to this on the last episode that for me it just became a week of lefts, which was devastating, and I don't mind a backhand for me, right? But I can't remember who I was chatting to. I think I was chatting to Ethan today, but I was like, I wanted to go down there, and I really wanted a real good forehand wave. Didn't really matter what I'd done on it. I just wanted the chance to be able to put into practice, the progression from Lost Shore. Like I really wanted to see it, and it had to be a front side for me to do that. And it just never really came. And, again, we'd started speaking about the second session at high tide Fistral. It wasn't huge. It was pretty solid. A lot of closeouts. And that was the day there was a lot of aggro in the water as well. And I took off on left after left after left, which was annoying. And then you got out because it got really slow. And there was we were sitting with all the sort of pro longboarders as well who were just on everything and fucking right to them.
Oh, Louis paddled out, didn't he? All right, boys?
Well,
Louis
Thomas Hudson. Time with Surf Co. And you went in, and I stayed out for another maybe half hour, and I was like, I'm getting this fucking right. Like, I'm getting this right. 2 rights back to back. I take off on one, and literally I kind of look up as I'm taking off, and I just see... It's not even that it's a crowd. It's just 3 oblivious surfers on surfboards, and they're just learning and having a good time and whatever. And obviously we've all been there. But I'm like, there's no way I'm making it round them. So I just had to straighten out and fucking pencil dive off, and sort of pull my leash in as I'm doing so. It was... but, while I'm pencil diving, I'm watching this right peel away from me. Like, it's still going as well. And I was like, right, okay, can I back out, paddle out back again? And then same thing. It's literally the next wave when I get back out. It's a right, and I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'm not ejecting. So there's like another group of people kind of just sat there. I think they're maybe the same people, but they were sort of sat in such a way it became like some fucking Jenga game. I was kind of happy with myself that I kind of had to do a bit of a top turn, if you like, to get round the first one, but then the other two I had nowhere to go. They were maybe like, a person and a half's width apart from each other, and I had no choice but to surf through them, and I was stoked with myself that I did, but the sheer look of panic on their face when I did. But I was just like, I was then, and again, it's not their fault, it's just how it is, during Boardmasters, Fistral Beach, summertime, it's super busy, but I was so annoyed because I just wanted that right. So I just got out, and then I think that was the night we then went and surfed the Tolcarne wedge, which most people will know if they surf it at high tide. Just wedges up, it's a massive backwash. It's a really steep entry from the beach and all that shingle, and it looked really fun, didn't it, from up top? And obviously,
no, it fucking didn't.
No, it didn't. I was like, I'll totally get some waves there.
No, it looked fun an hour before, and then we came round and we were like, I don't look as good now, but fuck it, we're here.
Well, yeah, we went down. I wanted to get out. The first time I put on my 2-2 shorty, my O'Neill Hyperfreak shorty, because I'd said that all my stuff hadn't arrived. So I had a 2-2 shorty, short arm, and my 4-3. The water's like, what was it, 17.5 degrees in Cornwall. 4-3 is overkill, and it's a Techno Butter 4 fire. It's not just a normal Hyperfreak, it's a fire. So I was like, oh my god, that's way too hot. But I felt like I wouldn't get away with a 2-2, so I hadn't used it yet. So we go to paddle out. It's the first time I've used my 2-2, and it's a proper shoal dump. I had some size as well, didn't it? I had some proper size. And what you've got is not only the waves coming in and breaking on the shore, you've got these sort of cross waves. Like the waves come in, there's a headland or massive rock face either side of the really short beach, maybe 150 metres wide at high tide. Two massive cliff edges. So the swell hits one cliff edge, reverbs, and you get a full-on 90-degree sideways wave. And so there'll be a wave peeling in as normal to the beach, and then a wave pushing along sideways, like from left to right, which is the maddest thing to look at. And you really,
but that wedges as well, doesn't it? It properly wedges up. Like you've seen those like videos of the wedge. It's not that high, obviously, but like it's like you'll be sat there, and all of a sudden there's a wedge double overhead where these two waves have hit and just gone like that up in the air, and you're like, whoa, so like just scrambling over it.
Getting out. Not getting out back.
Getting out was a piece of piss, mate.
Well, this is where I'm going. Getting out back, it's not necessarily the hard bit. Entering the water at the right time, because it's a non-stop massive shore dump onto that shingle. If you don't time it, it's brutal. We kind of walked up and down for a bit, and you just went for it on your, I think, 7-4 fish. And I was like, oh, he's gone. And I went to enter the water behind you, and I saw a set, and I was like, no way am I getting through. It took me maybe, another 10, 15 minutes?
Well, that's the thing. So I was watching it, and I was like looking at it, and I'm thinking, I can time this. Thinking, in my head, I can time this, I know what I'm doing. In reality, thinking it's fucking pure luck that I did. And I just fucking saw a gap, and I just ran, jumped on my board, paddled like fuck, got over it, and I was like, fair enough. Paddled out. It was still a little bit of a struggle. Turned around, and you're still on the fucking shore. And I'm like, oh, he's fucking stitched me. He's bottled it. He's not coming out because it's like it's all like all over the place like this. I was feeling proper seasick out there at one point. As well.
There was a lot of water moving, and I've never seen you paddle faster as well. It was hilarious. It honestly it took me another 10, 15 minutes, kind of walking up and down, just trying to find my spot. And then obviously I went for it, and we got out back. And I think 3 other younger lads got in, and they were obviously surfing really well.
Yeah, some of them looked like they surfed that a lot because the way they were surfing it, they were really good. But I'd say on that Tolcarne one, I said to you, fuck this is ridiculous, because it was all over the place, and I was like, it's not even fun. I'm getting one wave in and I'm getting out, and I got a wave in, and I was like, fucking hell. Struggled getting out because it was doing that shore dump, and then it's just ripping all the water back, so it's taking your feet away from underneath you. And I got out, and I sat there, and I watched you trying to get in position, and a couple of times go for that one that was going right across the bay, like that wedge that's coming across. And he nearly got it, I'm like thinking, oh, fucking come on, hurry up, because I'm just going to go back to the van in a minute. And I'm there, and you get that wave, and you get in, and it dumps you probably about chest high in the water, like near the shore, and I was just looking at you, and I was pissing myself. I've never seen you get out of the water so fast in my life. I've never seen you run like that in my life. You're fucking running. Your legs are up near your chest with your board like high up under your arm. You had to get out so fast because it was just like yanking your legs away, and it was one of those. If you get hit by a wave, though, it's just going to drag you back out again.
Oh, you're getting
but I've never seen you come out of the water so fast. It's fucking hilarious.
So so you got out, and I was adamant I was getting a sideways wave, as we were calling it, and because I wanted to get the sideways wave, but then try and sort of hit the apex, so it was like going around a bowl, or whatever you call it in skating. And you got out, and I'm not going to lie, you got out, and I have never been more jealous of when there's surf of somebody sat on the beach, because I was like, I want to be sat on the beach. I don't want to be out here. And but I was like, I wanted that wave as well. Like I wanted it so bad. And I kept trying to go for a few, but it's quite hard with positioning because obviously you can't take off in the apex where it meets. You either have to take off in the regular wave coming in or the sideways wave coming in, which means when you take off, if you're on that sideways wave, you're like facing along the beach, not at it. It's the oddest, most surreal thing. So it came in, and obviously the sideways wave, well, eventually when I figured out my positioning, it was a right that I was going on. So I take off, I get to my feet, I'm going down the face of it, and I know I'm trying to do a bottom turn right, and my body's doing everything to turn right at the bottom of this wave, but the board is chuntering like so much. It's just slapping the surface. There's normal regular waves also coming at me. I can feel it creeping up, and all the board's wanting to do, because the board's getting sucked back as well, so it was getting sucked back towards the regular wave. I'm trying to turn right, and I just it didn't let me, and then the regular wave absolutely creamed me, slammed my ribs so hard into the I don't even know if I hit the sand, but I hit the water so hard, and I think
you must. I reckon you hit the sand, because the amount of sand that came out of your wetsuit, I reckon it penetrated you.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I said that when we got back up, when we got changed. I was like, there's a sign that you've had a big wipeout when the inside of your wetsuit is full of sand, which I've not had for such a long time.
Yeah.
But fuck, mate, I was buzzing that I caught that wave. Doesn't matter that I didn't do much on it. Like, I was just such a cool thing to have done. So yeah, the wedge is, it's sketchy, it's fun, but we were watching
that little kid with the fucking foamy.
So there's a little kid went out with a foamies when I came out, and what did I say to you? And this kid's either really good.
You said to me, he's
either really good or he's about to get a life lesson. And he went out, got hit by one bit of white water, and got pushed so far back into the beach. It was like where he started.
Got a life lesson.
But that was mega fun. The night when you left, I went on Sunday. You left Sunday, yeah. I went and
Sunday,
surfed. I actually went and surfed Tolcarne again myself. I think at Fistral. I can't remember the last time I've been hit by a board. Cannot remember the last. In fact, last time I've been hit by a board would have been whenever the last time I got my rocket wide fixed, which is every time I've used it in the sea in the past.
That was in Towan.
Well, there was in Towan. That was when we done the Cornwall edition. That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's probably the last time I got hit by someone else's board. And to be to be fair to the guy, it was the guy in front of him. I can't remember. There was a guy on a longboard. He done something stupid, which meant the guy that was in front of me, paddling out, going over a wave, had to let go of his board, I think. And underwater, his board, I think it hit me it hit me in the leg. It hit me right in the fucking thigh bone.
Because you were in front of me, and then it all came at me, and I was just, that was when I was at the point, and I just went, fuck this, and got out.
Yeah, that's right,
It just turned into carnage.
Yeah, that's right. I've still got a huge bruise on my leg. So, again, was it his fault? It was the guy in front's fault, but I guess if you're kind of learning out, one piece of advice is just to never let go of your board. If you're going to get slammed, that's your choices have led you to that point, right? Own it and stay on your board. Don't just let it go and throw it behind you. And if you're going to do that, make sure you look behind you, because that's exactly what happens. Like that hit me in the thigh. That could have just as easily been my grid, and that could have gone badly wrong. The second one You had gone home. I went.
You say that. Amount of people that came up to me and went, "Oh, I'm really disappointed you haven't got a black eye still." Fucking cheers.
They did as well, didn't they? They did. So second session I had, and I'm just noticing how dark it is in my living room. I should have put a light on. The second session I had was actually it was Tolcarne on the Sunday, and same thing actually. It wasn't like mega busy there that night. In fact, most nights we surfed Tolcarne, it was we had mostly to ourselves, which will come onto that other surf. But
yeah.
I was surfing there. I guess mostly bloody lefts again, and I was it was really nice when I got in, but it kind of got to high tide quite quick, and there wasn't many people in, but it took me ages to get a decent wave, like a decent left, and a really nice left come in. And I sort of took off a vague bottom turn, if you can call it that, and a really big pump. And I see a guy on like a mow just take off, and he gets kind of eaten up by the whitewater. So he was quite high in the wave. So I was quite happy that I was going to bottom turn kind of round him, or at least pump round him, and no drama. And as I'm going through past the whitewater through that section, his board just comes out of nowhere and takes me down, and then his board came out of nowhere again and crushed me right in the chest, like straight on the nose of his board, like in my chest. Actually, so much so that I shouted at him underwater. I nearly swallowed a water. I started fucking screaming. Again, probably not necessarily his fault. He'd wiped out, and you're gonna lose control of your board. But just fucking look, just look behind you, because again, that could have gone horribly wrong, and then somebody's getting a rescue in a beach. You know what I mean? It's not cool. But so that was kind of my last session. But we had a surf on in same spot, Tolcarne, maybe on like the second night, I think it was, or maybe the third night. I can't even remember. And it was one of them sessions. Like, it wasn't big, but it was clean. There was plenty of waves. There was times it was super slow. There was long waits, but then there was so many rights, so many lefts. The rights didn't really peel, but I honestly, like, straight away must have had about 16, 17 waves pretty much back to back, which never really happens for me. It was like that thing, I think, other people have spoken about it, when you're just in sync. And it was like I was, the wave gods had just, they'd like connected their Bluetooth to me. And like, I just couldn't be in the wrong place, to the point that I think people had noticed it, and everyone just sort of was surrounding me like fucking midges. And when you've got your phone out at night, and I just kept getting waves, and it was absolutely epic. Like, we surfed into dark. It was just a super fun kind of session you just need in your life. It was an amazing sunset. The sun actually set literally just to the side of the headland, which was cool, where we were sat off the Fistral headland. So, oh man, it was a pretty special episode. Why does it look like you're writing something down, Peter?
Because I just remembered something that I want to write, I want to talk about. But I was going to say, I know you're sponsored by O'Neill and that now, but can I speak about my waves now? Is that all right?
If you must,
would it be all right if I speak about my waves? I know. It's like, mate, some of those, like, I'll tell you what, first negative thing I'll say about the Tiki board, the fish, which I still really like, but because it's such high literage, and I've used it in wave pools so far, I've been like, oh, this is fucking great in wave pools. You paddle out, blah, 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 get a wave, paddle out, it's a piece of piss. Soon as you put breaking waves on it, because it's high literage, I can't duck dive it. Even with my immense stature, I cannot push that. I physically cannot put in all my weight on it, and that's a lot of weight. I cannot put it under the water fully. And the only way I could work out to do it is really slam the front right under and the back of the wave to actually hit the back of the board. Because I think I got one where I got my foot on it and managed to jam it, but it comes up too early because it's too buoyant. So it's like riding a shortboard but trying to paddle out a log. So you got the mixture, but you got neither of work both ways. But on the days when it was a bit smaller, that was that hard day at Fistral, and that was like, I was like, fucking hell, I'm not liking this. But then I caught one good wave, and I was like, I fucking love this board. the riding the wave on that board.
Fair play to you getting out that day in Fistral. Like that, my duck diving felt really good the whole week. There was obviously a couple of times where I was getting tired after like the 15th duck dive, but like it felt really good. And I think because I've not really had to duck dive much this year, It's a bit of a skill you kind of forget. And there was probably a couple of waves for me that were like duck dive or die. And there was no way, if I couldn't duck dive, I wouldn't have made, there's no way I would have made it out back. And also, I think my paddle fitness has come on leaps and bounds. So the ability to just keep going. But I remember turning around thinking, fuck, he's never going to get that board out here. And, 40 minutes later, you were there. I was like, holy shit. Fair fucking play.
I got to cut that out now. Oh shit! That was it was an epic paddle out, mate. It was such a difficult paddle out, and that board, as I said, it was just getting just because you can't do anything, and you can't like on a longboard, you can sometimes either sort of half roll it or like push it down and get over the waves, like bounce it over and all sorts of things like that. But it was just difficult. It was difficult to paddle out. On the smaller days and the like cleaner sets, it was fucking a piece of piss because it paddles fast as well. Yeah. So it was a good board because you got that buoyancy. But catching waves on it is such a fun board. I mean, like I think the first session I didn't really catch anything good, but I think it was that second session or that Tolcarne session or wherever it was we were that I caught a wave and I was like, fucking yes. And I think you even went, that looked like quite a good one actually. Totally. And I was like, yeah, it fucking was. It was a really nice one. And then what was the day as well? Because I caught one all the way back in, more or less, and you were like, I thought you were getting out, and I was like, I was going to, but that was so good I had to come out for another one. And I should have just got out because the next one was shit.
That was that night at Tolcarne. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was when everything cleaned up and you were just getting waves and like, because I went first. No, that was it, because I got the first wave there, didn't I? Because I went the peak. There's a peak over here, and you went no over here, and I got one on the peak there, and then went back to it, and it just died off there, and it went to where you were, and then you moved again, and it went to where you were, and it just kept following you, like you're saying, in sync, and yeah. It was just a great night. But I mean, the whole week was pretty epic. The Rising Tides Festival was great. Boardmasters, hanging out, seeing people, like, as we were saying, like, people that I didn't even knew who we were or listened to the show, like it's like you're saying, like the people in O'Neill listen to the podcast, so shout out to them lot. The people that Yeti listen, and the people at like Wavelength listen, and there's all different people that like in these big companies that listen to this little podcast that we just go around chatting shit to people.
No,
so,
it's quite
awesome, humbling.
Very, and something I was super stoked about in the week, and genuinely mean this, was having a quick catch up with the Pillow, Alex Mason.
Mr. Mason, previous
guest of the show, but one of my best friends from army surfing, and clearly not seen him since I left the army. We're a million miles apart. He's got his own thing going on. I'm never down in Cornwall, but we met in a place where the food has gone downhill, as you've already alluded to.
Fucking awful.
And as brief as it was just super nice. He's out of the army as well now. So we've gone from, I actually said this the other day, that we used to have proper gangster chat, right? And yesterday we were met, because he's grown his hair long as well. Yesterday we were having a WhatsApp conversation about hair products for dudes with long hair. We've gone from that to that, like how life's changed.
You're both quitters, aren't you? Both quit the army, quitters.
So that was awesome.
Right. It's so good. So like so many things, and like I don't know, I've got loads of stuff next to me, like the Rising. Oh, Emily Curry was the other one we hosted. Remember that?
Yes, we did.
I just remembered then. I just saw it. Yeah, I just saw it. I just spat as well when I spoke, but I just saw it, and that was the other one we hosted as well. Her film was really good as well. The This Is My Year, and another really nice person, just really easy to chat to. And all the surfers and everyone we chatted to, like so many people coming up saying hello. It was just a really nice week, and it was fucking hot. And I found out that you're terrified of beasties, as you call them. It's really made me laugh, and it's still making me laugh. Don't turn the light on. The beasties will get me. The beasties will get me.
No, there's a difference. There's a difference between being terrified of beasties and Pete wanting to stand in your van with a door open in the pitch black with a head torch on, and all the beasties want to come in. I just don't. I know I'm going to go sit and watch telly in my van. I don't want it full of beasties. That's like, Pete,
it's
take your torch and fuck off.
I was like, oh, you like, don't, the beasties will get it. I was like, what the fuck's a beastie?
Also, a massive shout
that.
to the Bearded Brewery for hosting us as well through Rising Tides Festival, and Danny and the team. That was a super cool location. They do live music on a Tuesday and on a Saturday. They've got super nice toilets for me to use, which I was stoked about. And
a nice vibe of like music, drinks, and they've got a little pool table outside, and it's a cool little area, really good.
And Pete is somebody that doesn't drink. How was your non-alcoholic cider we had in the beach bar at Fistral?
So, I recently discovered non-alcoholic cider, and I was like, "Oh, that's quite nice. I like that."
It's also pointless.
not being one forever. I never drink. So the last time I drank, I think, was just over 2 years ago, and I was making the point of telling someone this, as I was saying about the non-alcoholic cider. It was really nice. I think it's like cherries and berries or something, like old moat or something, and it just tastes like fizzy Ribena. It's quite nice. I could just get a fizzy Ribena, but. So I got one, and I was like, "Oh, it's really nice. Taste it, Mitch." And I don't know. Well, I don't see the point of it. And I was like, "This doesn't taste right at all." Looked at it. They just gave me a full alcohol one. The bloke was like, he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Which it was a mistake. I don't know. It could have been a lot worse because I could have been drinking non-alcoholic for a reason. But he was really apologetic and gave me a can of Coke and 73 packets of crisps or whatever he gave us for apologising. But
which is what most law firms would get you if you were injured in an accident.
I was happy with a bottle of Coke and a packet of crisps.
You were. But it was a genuine mistake.
It was so good. It was such a good week. I mean, I think because normally when we do our weeks away recording, it's even though this was knackering, it's proper knackering, as in mentally and physically, because we're driving all over the place, we're recording stuff, we're ripping files, and as we say, we always go with the aim to try and surf, but very rarely do we get many surfs at all. And this was nice to be able to surf every day and just chill out. We only had 2 booked in to record. We were going to do another one, but we just didn't get the time to do the recording. And to be honest, it was a welcome break to fucking just step away from everything, and just the hosting was fun, the vibes of Boardmasters were great. We didn't go up to the main festival because it was full of youth, and and we're both the wrong side of 40 to do that. And but yeah, it was one of those ones. I was like, oh, I really wanted to go up to the festival, but I was knackered at the end of the day. We'd surfed, we'd chatted to people and stuff like that, and it was just a great time.
Was buzzing to... Actually, no, I'm not going to mention this because I can mention this when he's on the show. But it was nice to know that we can now do a live podcast as well. Well, 1 out of 1, I suppose. But, in principle, because I think we've got the same sort of not very educated approaches. We just turn up and got on with it. And I think we can make that work. So it's nice to know we can do that. If we get the chance to do that again next year with Rising Tides, I think we would do things, I wouldn't say different, but we would do things as we've done it on the last day. And I think we could add so many more elements. Obviously, we'd be able to... Well, actually, the reason we didn't, as Pete mentioned before, we didn't have the clean audio. It was just due to an issue with weather. It ruined a bit of the Boardmasters equipment, the mixing board, which meant we couldn't see the display to plug our equipment into it to get the right channels, get the right feeds. So we could kind of independently make all that work without that or with it the next time. So I think we could do so many cool things, even just like... seeing that wax comb we made a wee video just on my phone about how that gets made, right? Such a cool process. It was done in like a minute, little things like that. We could almost go around to each stand and do a little thing and be like, who are you? What do you do? Sort of, and show it. It's really cool. So it would be amazing to do that again and put more... Not thought into it, because we just went down, like you said, it was supposed to be just a break and there was a little bit of work in it as well. And we kind of volunteered ourselves for more. So I think we could do so much out of that. It would be really cool.
Yeah. Also, while I remember, there was a message that you got to check out, because the guy who makes the woolen fins, wants to send us some fins as well.
I did see that.
He does longboard and thrusters or twinnies or quads. Yeah, so that's cool. So that'll be on there. And mate, it was just such a good week. I just had a really good time, and I mean, you know how much of a good time we've had. We've waffled on for 45 minutes about like 4 or 5 days away at Boardmasters. We haven't even covered half the stuff that I wanted to cover, and I've forgotten half the stuff that I knew, and I forgot everything that I didn't know. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it got really dark in this room looking at the new UK Surf Show camera, because my phone now refuses to take videos, so I'm having to do this one a little bit different, but hopefully this isn't too dark that I can't get it back. Yeah. It's been great, man. Yeah. It was nice to hang out. It was nice to see.
No, do you know what?
Your admin all over my van again, you fucking tramp.
Yeah. Do you know what the best part was? I worked out, because we had like the mics that we were talking into so everyone could hear, but we had like little DJI mics as well on, so it would pick up in the cameras and be recorded for Boardmaster stuff. And the fact that the cameraman had headphones on, and I met him before, and we've done some stuff. He's one of the guys from like Rising Tides, and like I don't know if he's part of Echo or he does stuff with them. I can't even remember off the top of my head, but he was on the camera, and that I was literally taking the piss out of you to him, because you walked off and I just carried on talking, and he was wetting himself laughing. But then I'd when we were doing like the Emily Curry one, I said something to her and she walked off, and when we sat down to watch the film and before we had a break, I was like, don't forget you've got a microphone on you, so don't say anything about the cameraman, or don't say I can't remember what I said.
Yeah, I know what you said, but I'm not repeating it.
I'm not repeating it. But I said that, and it was just like fun, like, and he was like wetting himself laughing, like, so it's just like, you know, I was just taking a piss because I'm talking to someone who can hear me, but no one else can hear what's going on, so he's just laughing his head off and looks like a crazy. So that was brilliant as well. And mate, I had such a good time. It was just great. I just had it was a well-needed, like, I know we did some work, but it was a well-needed break of just chilling out and eating food like a couple of fatties. like a couple of
do you remember the guy
fat civvies?
Do you remember the guy, you know, the really posh flats, the closest ones to Fistral at the bottom of the road, they're sort of that big curved building, really posh apartments. We were using the car park at the Headland Hotel, and we were sort of parked up there. That's where the van lived, soaking up all the solar and my 600 watts of solar panels, giving us power all week. Nice. And we were back up at the van, just I think post surf or whatever, about to go do something else. And obviously all these super posh people that probably don't live in them apartments, or it was written as an Airbnb, I'm not sure, but he saw us getting changed and shouted down to us like as if we were a couple of paupers, like, here lads, let me throw you a couple of beers. super nice of him.
We don't drink.
Oh, you don't drink, and I just don't drink very often. But
no, nice. I don't drink very often. I like I say, 2 years ago, and then I don't know what it was, 7 years before that. I can't remember what it was, but like, so you know, it is an occasional thing. But yeah.
So yeah, it's been mega. The drive took me 13 hours to get home. I forgot that you can only spend 2 hours in a service station car park before you have to pay a fucking fortune. No. So I didn't cross my mind. I'd planned on leaving on Monday, yesterday, after the festival. I wanted to have another surf before I drove up. But I actually kind of got to 6:30 after my second surf on Sunday. And I don't know why it didn't cross my mind, but I was like, fuck, all of Boardmasters will be leaving tomorrow. I was like, and obviously there's pretty much only one road out of Cornwall. So I was like, it's a long enough drive, you know. So I, had the full day. We'd done our stuff. I had a surf, quite a long one. And I thought, fuck it, I'll just jump in the van 7:30 at night. Obviously the van's super cozy. It's got a bed set up in it all the time. I can just stop and sleep. So I thought if I can get 4 hours off the drive, I'll be stoked. I think I managed to get like 3.5, and I was just absolutely beat. So I stopped in the services with the intention of just sleeping as long as I slept and then getting on with it. And obviously I pulled in and then I saw the thing saying 2 hours, and then it was like 15 quid for an hour or something. I was like, I'm fucking paying that. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, surely it's a safety thing. They encourage you to stop. It should be at least 3 hours, because I felt like, I now know that 2 hours isn't, because actually you can't get 2 hours, because the time you drive in, the time you wake up and all that shit. So maybe you get an hour 40 max sleep. That's not long enough to feel rested for me anyway, and it's too quick to get to sleep properly. So I ended up doing like 3 services back to back, as in having that 1 hour 40 driving to the next one. It's fucking 13 hours, mate, to get home. The Turbo Loo has been fantastic, been an absolute game changer for me, because it now means I can actually do things when I'm having a flare up, as long as I've got the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, it's good time. And then do it all again in 6 weeks, but full on working. The Surf and Skate Expo.
For sure. Looking forward,
mate. I'm looking forward to that. And I mean, one day I think there's going to be one day on that where we're going to do the most interviews we've ever done in a day, because I think it's going to be like a full day's work of just being in there recording.
It is, but we've got a new approach, because we're going to treat that like it's a working day as opposed to going and chatting shit to people. So I think we'll be fine. Anyway, my camera's on 8%. I look like I'm very dark, so we should probably wrap this up.
So, just before we go, if you want 10% off Surface, use the discount code UK Surf Show 24. If you want 10% from Tiki, UK Surf Pod, 10% from Cookville, UK Surf Show 10, and 15% from Lost Shore, UK Surf Show.
15.
UK, that's all the codes.
It's UK Surf Show 15 for Lost Shore, and that's for surfs and accommodation.
Has that changed, is it? That's changed.
Told you that already, but you just jumped in and done them all, so I didn't even get a chance to correct you.
I'd listened to you, but
yeah.
So that's it. That's cool. Boardmasters was epic. Rising Tides Festival was epic. The skating, the surfing, the stalls, the food, the people, everything was epic. It was a great time. We had a great trip away, and now I'm back to reality, and it's shit.
And the young northerners we walked past in the town centre, I still can't bloody get the way you said it in your accent. He was just singing, "Your sister is your mother." I can still hear that. "Your sister is your mother." I can still hear it in your accent in my head. Thank you for that.
Oh, mate. Yeah, that's it. Brilliant. Cheers, everyone, for listening, and we will see you next time.
See ya.